Alexa, what are my notifications?
Another package was delivered at 3:19 p.m. to the mail room containing books. By the way, I can help you discover your next favorite book. Just ask, what should I read next?
I really wanted my order to be at my front door, but I guess I have to go downstairs to go get it, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Earlier this year, I decided to start buying physical books and manga. If you happen to stumble upon this video by chance and are curious as to why I made that decision, I made a video in May where I built wall-mounted shelves in my apartment and go over that. Since then, I've bought a few volumes of manga that I will start by going over in this video, but first, I want to go over my goal as a newbie manga collector. I've watched anime for over half of my life and started reading manga soon after when I was about 14 years old. So for my long-term goal, I would like to eventually collect all of the manga I've read that I loved, as well as some that have made it to my want-to-read list over the years. Short term, I'm going to focus on collecting manga that have a shorter story and low volume count, as well as what I find discounted here and there at my local used bookstore and manga store, as well as through online sales. And for new manga, I'm going to limit myself to buying 1 to 3 volumes before deciding if it's a series I want to keep collecting, because although I definitely have more room for physical books compared to when I didn't have the shelves, shelf space is still a limitation because I love books and reading in general, but another limitation is money. Collecting is an expensive hobby, and I'm not talking about just manga. There is a ton of shit that I love, which is a story for another day. Now for the manga I've bought so far this year. I used the right side of my middle shelf for manga and I've arranged them by heights. The left side is currently dedicated to my Demi novel collection, as well as some acrylic figures from the stories. For ease of access in this video, I'll be moving them to the bottom shelf. The first 2 stories I have here are single volumes for both series. Game Between the Suits by Mai Nishikata and Something Is Wrong With Us by Natsumi Ando. These 2 are josei/shoujo series that are new to me, and I bought them in April because I got a gift card through a recognition at work, so I had a little extra money for that shopping trip and they both looked interesting. For now, I'll probably focus on reading both stories online and then decide if I want to collect other volumes. Going by what I've read in the first volume, if I had to pick one of the 2 to collect, I'll go with Something's Wrong With Us because the story is more interesting to me. There are currently 19 volumes of the manga, 14 of which have been translated to English, which is a lot, so this is not a priority as my short-term goal. The next 2 I have here are In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, Uruwashi no Yoi no Tsuki by Mika Yamamori. This is a shoujo I am actively collecting. Even before the manga was published in English, I was already reading the series and thought the art style was super pretty and it looks so much better printed. The art style is super clean, and I'm ashamed to say that I didn't immediately recognize the mangaka as the writer of some of my early shoujo reads, Daytime Shooting Star, Hirunaka no Ryusei, and Tsubaki Cho no Moon Planet. Now that I know, I can definitely see the similarities in the art style, but it's also really amazing to see the growth and improvement in the mangaka's art style. The next 2 are shonen manga, Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami and Attack on Titan by Hajime Isayama. I'll start with Attack on Titan because I have just the 1 volume here, which was a rogue find at a thrift store. But this is one of my favorite series and it's completed, so it's definitely one I'm planning to collect. For Jujutsu Kaisen, I loved the first season of the anime when it came out. I had no prior knowledge of the series before watching it, but I have a brother who absolutely loves it and kept bugging me to get caught up on the manga. Earlier in the year, he gave me a gift card for my birthday to purchase some of the volumes, which was really good timing because Barnes & Noble happened to be having a BOGO 50% off sale on manga at the time. So I started buying them where the anime left off in season 1 from volume 7, and I really like this series. Also, the mangaka mentioned that he plans to wrap up the series by the end of 2023, so this is one I'm planning to collect as well. I think these are good shonen series for me to collect because they're not as large as long-running shonen like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Also, I'm super excited for season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's probably going to cover just volumes 8 through 15 that I have shown here, since the first season covered the first 7 volumes. The next set of manga I have here are manga that I have no plans to keep collecting. Ima Koi by Ayuko Hata, A Condition Called Love by Megumi Morino, and Takane Hana by Yuki Shiwasu. You will notice that I stayed within my 1 to 3 limit for a new series for the first 2. The only reason I strayed from that for Takane Hana was because I found them at my local used bookstore at a really good price, as opposed to the other 2 that I bought at full price. In fact, for the most part, I limit myself to just the first volume when I'm buying a new series. The ones I have in twos here are from the BOGO 50% off sale that Barnes & Noble had in March. The next 2 here are My Happy Marriage, a shoujo series by Akumi Agitogi. This is another one I'm collecting for pretty much the same reason as in the Clear Moonlit Dusk. I'm not familiar with this mangaka, but the art style is also really pretty, and the story is amazing. It's a Cinderella trope story with a paranormal and fantasy twist, and although I usually think this trope is overdone, this one is very well done. It's also getting an anime adaptation, and the release date has been confirmed as the 5th of July, so I'm super excited about that. The last series in this stack is Toritan by Kotetsuko Yamamoto. This one is yaoi, also known as BL. These were the last set of manga I bought as part of the Barnes & Noble BOGO 50% off sale, so I bought 2 volumes. Luckily, they are the only 2 volumes in the series. I'm pretty familiar with this mangaka and have read some of her other works, which is why I bought them. This one doesn't need any further explanation since I'm done collecting it. And that's the end of this pile. The other manga that I currently own are in my TBR pile for the month of June. The first one is Paradise Kiss, Parakiss for short, by Ai Yazawa. Similar to Toritan, this is also a completed series, and this copy is actually one that has all the volumes in this one book. So it's a lovely short story. I never actually read the manga for this one because the anime covered the entire story, unlike Nana, which was written by the same author, and I did read because the anime did not cover all of it. By the way, can we have a moment of silence for the 14-year hiatus of the manga? I told myself I'll stop reading it after what happened in chapter 77, but I would really like to see how the story ends, if it ever gets picked up again. I'm not holding my breath though. The next one I have here is Descendants of Darkness, Yamui no Matsui by Yoko Matsushita. This one was a bookstore find, and it's a new story, a new series to me. I found it interesting, but I'll keep reading it online. I'm not collecting this one. And the last one here is The Other World's Books Depend on the Bean Counter. Every time I say that name, I always think it's super long. This one is by Yatsuki Wakatsu. It's also a new story to me. I bought it used online because it had a lot of really good reviews. It's an isekai story, and I really enjoyed the first volume, but this is not a priority for me to collect at the moment. So that wraps up what I owned before my purchases for the month that I'll now go over, starting with the ones I got from my local used bookstore last week. For the first part of what I bought this month, I'll show manga that my local used bookstore got earlier this month. The very first one is the perfect edition of Soul Eater by Atsushi Okubo. I've watched a little bit of the anime, but I can hardly remember it right now. It was the only volume they had, and I bought it because it's a hardcover, and since I have it, I can familiarize myself with the story again. I'm not really sure what the mangaka plans to do with this manga, so I'm not collecting it. The next one is a series that's new to me, Magus of the Library by Mitsu Izumi. I bought this one because the cover was pretty, and that's it. I also bought volumes 1, 3, and 4 of Attack on Titan. I already showed volume 2 earlier that I bought as a rogue find at the thrift store. I bought this volume since I decided to actively collect the series. The next two, similar to Attack on Titan, are completed series I plan to collect. The first one is Fullmetal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. This one was one of my first anime and the one I can remember really solidifying my love for anime. I have 2 of the 3-in-1 volumes here, so 6 volumes that I got for $18, which is amazing. The second one is Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba by Koyoharu Gotoge. I bought the first 3 volumes of this one. Like I mentioned, these 2 are also smaller collections of shonen compared to other long-running ones, so I'm collecting them. Okay, so for the second part of what I bought this month, I'll be going over what I ordered in the package that I picked up in the beginning of the video that I have sitting right next to me here. And I'm just going to start with the ones I'm collecting and already mentioned earlier in the video, either as part of the collection that I currently own or what I bought earlier in the month. The very first 2 I have here are volumes 3 and 4 of In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, Uruwashi no Yoi no Tsuki by Mikaya Mori. Volume 4 of this got released on the 6th of the month, so I bought that as well as the 3rd volume. This is volume 3 and volume 4. The next one I have with me here is volume 3 of My Happy Marriage, Watashi no Shiawase Kekkon by Akumi Agitogi. The 4th volume will be released later this month on the 20th, and I plan to pick that up shortly after, but here is volume 3. The next single volume manga I have here with me is volume 2 of the Other World's books, Depend on the Encounter by Yatsuki Wakatsu. I really enjoyed reading the first volume of this one, so I bought the second one as well. I'm still deciding if this is a series I want to collect, so I just have it tagged as not collecting at the moment in the list I have just going in my head, so yeah. The very last series of manga I have here with me is the complete box set of WOTAKOI, Wataku ni Koi wa Musukashi by Fujita. This is definitely one I wanted to collect. It's complete short and one of my top favorite like comfort animes to watch. I love this story so much. It is so relaxing and brings a smile to my face every time I watch it. In fact, I started watching it again after I ordered this box set because I have a problem and I just rewatch it all the time. And the story is like super relatable because I'm an office worker who is a bit of an otaku, so I just relate to everything in it so much. This is the last set of manga I bought. There are 11 volumes in total in the series. Each of the first 5 books that you can kind of see here are 2-volume books, and then the last one is 1 volume with the 11th volume. If you want to buy them individually, the 2-volume books go for $18, and the last book with just the 11th volume goes for $13, and that brings the total of the box set to $103 if you buy the books individually. So that's what it's going for at Barnes & Noble right now, but I got this at a really good price on Amazon at about 5% off for $67, so that made me like really happy. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the books out so I can show you the box. It's easier to show it to you without everything else in it because it's easier to pick up that way. That's one side. It just shows like a picture of the main cast of the story. Super cute. And on the bottom it just shows you that this is by Yodansha Comics. Inside of the box set right here, I don't know if you can like see that there's a space kind of inside the box. It comes with this sticky that has Narumi and Hirotaka on top of every page, and it just has like really cute text boxes that you can write in. I think that's adorable. And I'll go ahead and show you the front of each of the volumes, and these volumes feel amazing. Like it's unlike any manga I own. The quality is amazing. I don't know what other word to use there. But this is volume 1 with Narumi and Hirotaka on it. And it tells you at the back that it includes volume 1 and 2 of the Japanese edition. So that's the first book with the first 2 volumes. Book 2 with volumes 3 and 4. You have Hana and Taro that I just kind of call Hanataro now, because it sounds like a name. In fact, it reminds me of a character in Bleach in Unohana Squad. If you watch Bleach, you probably know Hanataro. Book 3 with volumes 5 and 6, Naoya and Ko. Book 4 with Hanataro again. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but all of these volumes have some color pages inside of it, which is awesome. Book 5, Naoya and Ko again. And book 6 with the 11th volume, you have Narumi and Hirotaka again, looking super duper adorable and just happy. I love these books so much, so much. This is another completed manga that I'm now done collecting and wraps up my starter collection. I'm working on creating a tracker for what I buy and also making a list of series I would like to prioritize buying, so that way I'm able to keep my purchases really organized. But that's about it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video or just found it helpful to see how I plan to start my collection and some things that I'm keeping in mind so I don't just get scattered with my purchases. And whatever day you find yourself watching this, make it a great one. See you next time. Bye.